jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Good morning and big salute to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. Shout out to the OG. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more is on deck. Salute to you. What's good with it, brother? Appreciate you pulling up as always. You already know. Mr. Golden, the OG on deck. What it do, Mr. Golden? Salute to you, brother. One love to everyone that's on deck, man. WCS salute. Salute to you, man. We have multiple topics kicking off. I just can't talk about boxing all the time, you know what I'm saying? Because it kind of gets lukewarm at the end of the day, right? I'm trying my best to kind of have other live stream topics about, you know what I'm saying, ongoing current affairs that we have to deal with on a regular basis. I want to, just let it be known that this is the year that we supposed to vote, okay? And there are many that's out there, like the forgotten Amber Rose, who is trying her best to get a little bit of shine again. She came out and she said Amber Rose is going viral for supporting Donald Trump with solid gold Trump pennant. I mean, same pose, puckered lips, shades, bald head. That's what the clout consists of this day and time, Shout out to Amber Rose for making an appearance and coming back out to the daylight. I'm pretty sure she's been hard at work. She's supporting Trump. And I always think about these elections. I say, dang, the roster is a short list. For real. Like, we don't have people paying for these individuals to go to college. We're not having these youngins. Are they not encouraged to be politicians and dignitaries and, important people, role players in the political field? Are they not motivated to do that? It seems like they're not, to be honest with you. It just seems like they're not motivated. But moving on, though, before we get to Ryan Garcia, ladies out there, I definitely want to have a conversation, about current topics. I feel that, in my own opinion, when it comes to having conversations with women on here, they have to be comfortable enough that they're not going to be put in a position where it was a bad decision on their part to come on here and speak on it. That's not it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here with an agenda or vendetta against women. It's just more clarification. See, one thing I love is, learning from other people. If you're not willing to learn from anybody and you believe you live off one rule of structure and that is that of your own, well, how are you going to continue to build it? How are you going to have that conversation? And it seems like, sometime having a conversation about what we as heterosexual men have to go through in life, we want to speak to heterosexual women, right? But sometimes those women aren't willing to engage in conversation like that because they feel like they're putting a part of them out here that they don't want people to see, or they don't want to have to defend themselves if someone disagrees. I'm a listener. And one thing that I want to talk about is the fact that it would be great to go back the way it was. I'm seeing all these 26 to 30 inches down by the waist. And it's just so much to think that me, myself, I haven't had to deal with that. Keeping up the maintenance. And women will tell me, right? It's not like I complain. I don't complain about it because, what am I complaining about something that is not in my possession or not something that I have to deal with on a regular basis? That's not I'm not in ownership of the tab. You feel me? I just feel like it's pulling out these young black women's hair from middle school to high school. They sitting up here with 26 to 30 inches of hair, and they're bald head by the time they get out their 20s, bro. I just want to talk to my women and see how can we just go back to the way it was. Why are they not thinking about this? And see, they definitely has to understand that I'm a brother. I'm just gonna absolutely process what you're telling me. I'm gonna collect it. I'm gonna process it, and we're gonna both have a dialogue. Now, sometimes, not every woman wants a brother to provide a dialogue that doesn't benefit them. But I'm like, going back to the way it used to be, we're at a point right now where we have women that would not date men because our hairline is all the way, or we bald headed or something like that. But yet, if we want to speak on hairlines and how much hair you have on your head, we don't necessarily meet you in your natural state out here. And women may feel some type of way about it. I know. But I'm saying you have some beautiful women out here that has this insecurity. They're very secure with the lace front, or with the wig, or with the cosmetic hair on, right? They're secure. But that security is masking the insecurity of basically getting to know someone, knowing that they haven't really seen you in your state of comfort. You know what I'm saying? They haven't seen you lounging around with no hair on your head. So we're gonna get to that, later on in another live. But I just want my sisters to understand that you're sending your kids to a 2 or 3 hour appointment, and by the time they are in their late 20s, their hairline is in the middle of their head. But yet you all get mad if a brother hairline is all the way in the back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's some things that has to be changed. It's some things that has to be changed. We're already coming with a maintenance tab. Like men, we're so called low maintenance. So a lot of money that women spend themselves on is cosmetic. You know what I'm saying? Beautification. Men, we'll spend it on clothing. A haircut don't cost that much. It depends on how you are as a man. You want to get the Beijing, yeah, that may cost you a little bit more. But we don't come with a monthly tab just for aesthetics outside of a haircut. Women, yes, you may get a tab twice a month. And look, this is no shade on no woman. You know what I'm saying? Because you really truly love a woman, you don't have to worry about the hair. It's just what we have to deal with, knowing that the woman that you're speaking with totally understands that me and her haven't gotten that close enough to basically get comfortable with one another. And she knows that when that time comes, her presentation of how she look in her natural state is quite different than who she is right now in front of me. We'll talk another day. Let's get back to the Ryan Garcia situation. Okay, you're probably saying to yourself, cheating has to have a purpose. What was Ryan's? And look, this is where I'm at with this question. I just look at Ryan's other fights. And I've been listening and listening, speak on Ryan Garcia. I heard him speak on his take on Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? And Dana White has been in the game, the president of the UFC for a long minute, and they have went through trials and tribulations of testing. And John Jones was one of the ones who freaking changed testing over there because with him testing positive, um, one of his last times we had to go before the commission, come to find out the supplement that he was taking previously, the quantity of it, it took his body much longer than expected to basically flush that out. So therefore, when he returned back to the cage for a fight in the testing pool, he tested for picograms. And being that people, even in the doping industry, they might have known what picograms was, but when you compare it to a competing athlete and you're saying to yourself, okay, we have zero tolerance, but yet in this particular case, there's tolerance. Why? Because there's another layer of learning that even the doping agency have to go to. We have formats, what I'm saying, on how we do things. And the doping agency, when they came on, it's their obligation, their they have a task to test these athletes. Well, with John Jones, his picograms didn't raise a brow to say that he was juicing and so forth. He just tested positive for something. It wasn't a high level, but it was the fact that he tested positive again. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a quantification to a point that send the red flags up there. So they said, okay, let's see about this now. Is he really is he taking anything, or is his body still attempting to flush out the banned substance or whatever he was taking previously? And that's where it was a turning point that John Jones wasn't taking his body. The picograms did not exceed the levels from which it did last time to say that he was currently taking a banned substance. And that kind of changed over there. They stopped announcing fighters doping. Okay, let's just say USADA has a fighter that came back positive. They stopped announcing it until they did further research to see what was going on. Usually when a fighter tests positive, they was announcing it and the fighter's name is all over the place. Now they was doing more in-depth research with this, right? So when it comes to Ryan Garcia, we already know the situation. He's at a place right now where if you listen to my live the other day, he was going back and forth with Ishe Smith. And I try to explain to these cats, right? Why are you all putting in such an effort of protesting Ryan Garcia just because it was Devin Haney? And you're not even thinking, you refuse to basically, collect analogies, put analogies together and say, why not compare Gervonta Davis fight to the Devin Haney fight? Though his fight with Devin Haney went into the 12th round, Ryan Garcia had much success fighting Devin Haney than he did with Gervonta Davis. But Ryan's level of aggression with Gervonta Davis out the gate was there. We're talking about an extremely dangerous fighter that he really didn't have the amount of experience inside the square like he had with Devin Haney. So therefore, he went in there with a more dangerous puncher in Gervonta Davis, and his level of aggression from the beginning of the fight was present. Now, this is a fighter in Ryan Garcia that understood what the threat level was, and he still went in there with his amount of aggression to press the issue from the opening bell. Whereas you have Devin Haney, whether these individuals want to admit to it or stand on their 10 or use some integrity, Ryan Garcia did not go into that fight with the same anticipation that Devin Haney presented a threat with his punching powers like Gervonta Davis did. That wasn't there. No way. He did not go in there with that same mentality. Now, of course, they have had familiarity with one another from the amateurs, but this is professional ranks. There's growth in between this. There's advancement. So therefore, I'm looking at the art of war. And I'm looking at how Ryan Garcia has stepped in there with both of his top fights, Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney. And being that Devin Haney punching power was not on a barometer where Ryan Garcia had to go in there and really work on his defense. He didn't really show any more defense, you know what I'm saying, that he did with Gervonta Davis, for real. He just didn't show it. He remediated his left hook excessively against Tank, and Tank made him pay for it. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, he was stopped from a body shot, not a head shot like Frank Martin. With Devin Haney, when it comes to this whole process of him losing weight and trying to cut the last pounds, he's been on record as saying he was stuck at those pounds, so he hired a guy who's well known called Scooter. Now, in this game of boxing, even though these people are familiar with other fighters, it doesn't mean they're going to be in your best interest. And Dana White said something that was very, very important. He said the people that was around Ryan Garcia, those individuals who was around Ryan Garcia, if he had better people around him, this wouldn't have happened. And just because Scooter is well known in boxing, Ryan Garcia is not familiar with him. He doesn't have any loyalty with Ryan. So if Ryan was there to hire a person to cut the last weight, and that guy brought him a supplement in there to help, and you know, no one really had the time to send it to the labs. It was just impossible for that supplement to go to the labs. It could have very well, and I believe it was, a contaminated supplement because it didn't go through the testing. You know what I'm saying? So now Ryan has to do damage control. He has to process in hindsight, right? Because we always speak about this being 2020, right? So in hindsight, Ryan's looking at it like, okay, I kind of put my trust in somebody who I don't know. And then in the aftermath of it all, you find out he's connected to Zab Judah, who's connected to Team Haney. Now, we're not going to play the clown game and act like phone calls wasn't made. Yes, phone calls had to be made. It got to a point where, hey, Ryan needs help with cutting this last weight. And they understand that Ryan's next opponent is Devin Haney. Now, I'm only assuming. I'm speaking in hindsight, too. I'm speculating. But we can't sit up here and wipe it clean as if contaminated supplement in there. Because if you look back at it, how can Devin Haney's brother say that Ryan is going to test positive? You know, one thing about us, sometimes we don't have any patience. You know what I'm saying? You just blurt stuff out. You know what I'm saying? These kids these days want to go viral. They don't have any composure. Sometimes they don't understand the severity of situations. And he said he was going to test positive. How did he know that Ryan Garcia was going to test positive? And in me, what was the reason as to why Ryan would have to go through the extreme for a fighter who doesn't possess a threatening level of punching power? Even on this level, he kind of gives off the Paulie Malignaggi, you know what I'm saying? That he is a technically skilled fighter who lacks the punching power to be a threat against those who does have punching power, or those individuals who are competitors or his boxing luminaries in the sport. I'm just saying. So let's listen to what Dana White had to say, y'all. Let's listen to what he had to say.
You know, I hate talking about drug testing, but with all of our knowledge that we have in the years that we've been drug testing, we believe the people who handle the drug testing that he had tainted, he took a tainted supplement and that he did not cheat. And, you know, if he had the right people around him and had the right, you know, that wouldn't have happened. We're pretty confident it was a tainted supplement. I got no skin in this game. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's not my fight. It's not none of my business and not my place to even talk about it. But from what my team tells me, and these guys are the fucking best, tainted supplement.
And that was Dana White's clip. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. Salute to you. Shout out to Mr. International Toby Bartlett on deck. Salute WCS and the hottest chat in the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. No doubt, Toby. Shout out to across the pond boxing fans over there. You already know. Thanks for letting me know about the volume. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. But, you know, you heard Dana White, the president of the UFC. He said he spoke to his people who's been in the anti-doping game, you know, as far as testing his fighters underneath the UFC promotional banner. He pretty much understands all that. He's had fighters like John Jones who has set the precedence, you know, when it can come to being stripped of titles and, you know, going through John Jones' process of him testing positive and many other fighters over there and learning how the process works. You know, if doping was just the same format each and every time, then John Jones never would have went in front of the commission to basically get his spot back, to get his license back. You know what I'm saying? They had to understand what was going on. But with Ryan Garcia, yes, there's a plethora of variables that we can go off of as far as how fighters cut weight. But he mentioned the salt baths and everything that wasn't working. You know what I'm saying? He mentioned all that. He said the salt baths wasn't working. So he got to a point where he was stuck. And so whatever happened between the conversations that was had with him removing those last pounds, it couldn't happen. But in that, you know, being tested prior to the fight, on the fight day, or whatever the case may be, his urine came back tainted. I mean, came back positive. Okay. And, you know, once he submitted his supplements, it came back positive for contamination of ostarine. Now, a lot of people seem to say, okay, I don't care about that. We're going to say Ryan Garcia cheated. I don't know why this has become the landing zone for, to act as if Ryan Garcia is someone new to this, like he's the first fighter ever to test positive. That's not the case. He's not the first fighter to ever test positive, period, in any sport. But I think people are feeling some type of way as to how he went about promoting this fight, how he blatantly was putting on the facade, you know, how he was rubbing it in our face that he, you know, faked like he was crazy. And, you know, it's being petty at the end of the day because, you know, it's a lot of people do a lot of crazy things in this sport. It's a lot of deception. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that's try to be the best at deception. The deceivers of boxing. They have manipulate and raise levels of performance enhancing drugs. You know what I'm saying? How some fighters are provided favoritism. Like certain names come out and they are the exception to the rule. But these individuals that's going hard at a particular fighter, and I'm not in no way, shape, or form defending Ryan, nor am I going against Devin. All I'm saying is we have individuals who are in positions to bend. You know what I'm saying? They make these rules pliable for their own reasoning. That's called bias. And we've seen this play out in boxing plenty and plenty of times. And Ryan is no different. I don't know why it's so difficult for people to believe that when 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 you hear a fighter say, "Hey, it's a con job," I have no reason to freaking dope. Yes, I copped a plea because they said they can still find me guilty if I was to take it to court and all that. Every route is different, man. Every toll to cross the bridge is cost different for the route you choose to travel. That's all. So at the end of the day, you know, Ryan Garcia's method to the madness, the New York State Athletic Commission seemed like they wanted to punish him because of his behavior. Okay. Portion of that percentage of punishment was because of his behavior, which to me is asinine. Reason why I say that is because how can boxing start speaking about behavior when you have referees, judges, and commissions that continue to stab fighters in the back? How can we dare talk about behavior all because someone did it very smoothly, blatantly? You know what I'm saying? In your face. And they had to do with something as serious as mental health. Just because that person made a mockery of it and went in there and had success with the fighter, only to pop dirty, and the athletic commission said, "Well, this is our time. You know what I'm saying? If you want to pop dirty, you wouldn't have heard anything about it. This is our time to let him know how we feel about him. First of all, not really respecting the commission to begin with. Once he found out that he had a fight, the fight had been moved from Vegas to New York. Ryan just did a lot of painting with the wrong brush. Seriously, the picture he painted when that fight was moved from Las Vegas to New York, and the criticism that he was painting for everybody to see, that he wasn't, look, he wasn't happy. That started it all right now. He showed his displeasure by pretty much crapping on New York State Athletic Commission. You know what I'm saying? And fighting in New York. I'm pretty sure him and he had to be very careful about, he didn't want to pop positive for smoking weed and all that. But, throughout the entire testing in his fight camp, he was negative. But then up to and on the day of, he pops positive. And that's all I pretty much have to say in reference. I feel like I want to go with Dana White on this. I don't think he knowingly took the supplement, bro. It's just me reading body language a lot and listening to how people, their facial structures and how their eyes move, and just pay attention to all those mannerisms, tone of their voice, the rise and inflection of their voice and stuff like that. It just seems like Ryan, his intent, what was the purpose? You know what I'm saying? What is the purpose for his intent to cheat? This is a combat sport. What would be your purpose heading into a fight with Haney? Being that Ryan had the quicker hands, more punching power. What would be his reason, his intent? What would be the purpose that he was heading in there with Devin Haney that will force him to cheat? What was the purpose? Are you just going to say it was a cut weight? Was it because, would it be the cut weight? Because he said he called a guy in there. That guy wasn't on his team. Rumor was going out that, it was a guy on his team and in his circle. That wasn't, Scooter is not a part of Team Ryan. And I'm pretty sure they'll never call him again for anything. But I think Dana White made a good point. Like, if he would have had better people on his, around him, then this won't even be a topic of conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case, because when you get out the shower, why does your towel get dirty? Because everybody take a shower differently. Not everybody is up to date on taking the time to hygiene themselves. It goes for anything you do in life. Some people go out there and wash a vehicle, and when it's all said and done for them, it's still dirty. And to some, they take a little bit longer. They have a whole different process. And when they're done, it looks clean. So dirty isn't dirty at the end of the day, because there have been plenty of fighters who test dirty off contaminated supplements. You know what I'm saying? That really seems like a very elementary or undeveloped sense of thinking if you're going to say dirty is dirty. You know what I'm saying? This is a process that we take. That process is outside the scope of Ryan Garcia. He doesn't see the entire process on how they test these supplements. He's not educated. He's not the lab technician. He's not the scientist. He hasn't went to school for all this. So there's a third party that takes this, even the urine. Only thing you have to be, look, the only thing you want to hope and pray is that the chain of custody stays within its integrity. That no one is breaking the chain of custody and breaking the seal on this freaking supplement. It is outside the scope of the person who the sample came from. The fighters don't have the opportunity to view the entire process 24 hours, 7 days a week. So there has been. Why would we even use the word contamination if in history there haven't been any contaminations? We have to go off something. We have to have something to trace this back to. If a supplement has never been contaminated in the testing pool, why would it be comparable to being a topic of discussion from the testing pool? That means a supplement has been contaminated in the past. So it's not just anything, it's not just made up. It has happened. It has happened. Period. It has happened. And we all know Dana White has been in the game, and no, he don't have anything to do with the testing pool over here in boxing. But at the end of the day, I believe when it comes to the community of people who want to speak on a topic such as this, you have every right to. But we also have to evaluate who the assessment is coming from, and are they being neutral about it, right? Or they just want to talk about it? Because we have individuals that will just talk and go against the grain just for attention. And this is not something that they feel genuinely in their heart of hearts. They just say, "Oh, I want to go against the grain." Why? Because it's an ulterior agenda. It's called views and subs. They want people to go and tune in. You know what I'm saying? So they just blatantly go against the grain on this particular topic because it involves two familiar names in the sport, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. And like I said, I'm not defending either one of these cats. Well, all I'm saying is people are looking like boxing is this sacrilegious sport where they go looking for these fighters in a freaking Christian convent. And they've been raised since they knew how to walk. They've reached a certain level of 18 years old, 16 to 18 years old or whatever. And they've had all the amateur training that they needed. Now they've transitioning over into professional sports. And they're very unique individuals. They have been groomed. They're Christians. They are religiously sound in the doctrine. No, bro. No, that's not boxing. That's not freaking boxing. This sport has always been contaminated. Always. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to shake your head sometimes. Like, dang, who would want to compete in a sport that is so many areas that they can't control? They can put in all the effort in fight camp and go in there, split the ropes, and fight, only to be robbed either by the referee or the freaking judges, not knowing that it may have been a commission and everybody eating dinner together, that was the plan all along. You know what I'm saying? It's not impossible. This shit's not impossible. But when you have two familiar names and you have um, the community, you're always gonna have a a a dissection. You know, you're gonna have groups that you dissect and you cut in pie slices of this person thinks this way, that way, that way, that way. Everybody has their own sense of thinking. And you're gonna hear everybody's point of view, which I don't have a problem with. It's just like I give my point of view, they give their point of views. And then with that point of view is being heard by others, they're gonna give their what? They're going to give their reaction or their rebuttal, their retort, or whatever you want to call it, to what that person said. Now it becomes a freaking storm because controversy is what keeps the energy going. Negative energy to some people is good energy. So they rather deal with the negative energy because it's good for them to speak on it because what they're doing is unnatural, but they're getting a reaction out of the person who they disagree with. You know what I'm saying? They disagree with this motherfucker, so I'm going to talk shit about him. You know, just so I can get that energy that I'm looking for, and it draws more people in. That is a current that is an occurrence that we have to deal with on a regular basis, especially in the boxing community. When you have a situation such as Ryan Garcia, and you have a group of people that really wasn't supporting Devin Haney that heavy, but they choose to rock with him in the fakest way possible because of how Ryan Garcia conducted himself leading up to the fight. You know what I'm saying? So he conducted himself in an in-your-face, you know what I'm saying, reckless type of manner. He was very disingenuous. And I know he pissed off a lot of people by, you know, faking like he was, you know, dealing with mental health and stuff. So what is that going to do? Well, you have individuals that want to retaliate. They want revenge. And if you know if it's something that goes on like, you know, Ryan Garcia then crosses T's and dot his I's properly, he couldn't cut the weight down and make the limit. He slipped up and had to reach out to a what? Outside entity. He didn't have control over that outside entity. So therefore, if he needed to take something, somebody around him should have said, no, forget that. We it's not tested. We don't know what it is. Forget that. Because what if you pop dirty? You know, being young and dumb, man, that's a term for a reason. If Ryan Garcia has a lot of people around him that are willing to nod their head, you know what I'm saying? Nod their head no and shake their head yes. Then there you go. If you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? You nod your head no and shake your head yes. If you have that type of confusion going around in the circle that you're moving with, situations like this is going to happen. Somebody from the outside that close to the fight should have never been allowed to provide him a supplement in a short window. And without doing research to see who that person was connected to. Scooter being connected to Zab Judah, who's connected to Team Haney. It is what it is, man. I'm not going up here, you know what I'm saying, trying to prove to everybody and all the other shit, man. Shout out to IOTBA Boxing Talk. The GOAT is in the building. What's good with it, IO? Salute to your brother. I'm saying definitely go check out IO. I don't have to tell y'all that. Y'all already know, man. Shout out to the Spit Bucket Podcast, man. Continue to do y'all thing over there. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Check out the Spit Bucket Podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? They got it rocking and rolling. I wonder who on Ryan's team called in this Scooter. Because if I was Ryan, he'd be fired immediately, 100%. Yeah. Talk to him, Toby. Yes. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying, man. This is my whole point. You know what I'm saying? It's like deer hunting, man. You know, you got a tree stand up in there. You got to be patient. You got to take all the necessary precautions not to, you know, because deer smell. They smell everything. But the whole process, man, for somebody to come in with that short window, who called? Where was Ryan? Was he busy up here just being an arrogant little young spoiled brat and he thought, everybody was in his best interest? The guy who called maybe was in Ryan's best interest. But if you are sourcing a third entity outside of the group of people that you're moving with right now to get you to the scales, and you know for damn fact that I can't drop the rest of this weight, instead of you saying, okay, I can't drop the rest of the weight, he goes out there and make it seem like he purposely didn't lose the weight, when in fact he was trying to lose the weight. So therefore, when you took this supplement, there's a lot more investigation needs to go in there, not a lot more research to this stuff. And I think that's where they failed Ryan at. And just like Toby just mentioned, that person made a value. I mean, you make a mistake like that, it's grounds to terminate. If you was in a corporate setting, being that boxing is extremely loose with these teams, and a trainer can be fired at any given time, bro. This happens all the time. Real talk. But that's goes to show you, man, when you have money on deck, and people up here coming up with all these suggestions, say, hey, I can get this. And say, no, we're not bringing in no supplement this late. We just gonna go in there and we're gonna take the penalty. I'm pretty sure they also knew that Team Haney was gonna take the fight regardless, because it was gonna be a big check on their part. This could have eliminated a lot. And I'm not here to put the culpability on Team Haney, but when he came in and he was 3.2 pounds over, they absolutely, the door that was ajar, they opened it all the way up for him to enter. They could have just kept it ajar, and when he came in with those weight, they could have just said, "No, I'm not interested." No, and they could have closed it and locked it, but they opened it up. Why? Because Ryan coming through that door mean they was gonna still get paid, and also they felt like money over everything. Isn't that what they said? Money over everything. They wanted Ryan to pay them 500,000 per pound. So they accepted the door to be open. So now you want to come over here and act like, well, Ryan Garcia tested positive. Why did you take it? Who gives a fuck, Bill? Nobody gives a damn about why did he take it. Nobody gives a damn about areas, those gray areas that no one can account for. People trip me out, man. Like you go up here and you being basic about it. You just breaking shit down basic. Like, why would you get on here and tell me, oh, why did you take the supplement? Why did you do that? Why do fighters do a lot of things? They don't keep a freaking log of every meal they had and what they ate, and also what they're absolutely consuming. They don't have a log on where that food came from, who made it, who processed it, where was the freaking chicken grown at, what farm, what's the date of birth, what was the freaking the the semester, the trimester rather, on that freaking animal growing up, what chemicals was put in his body. We don't know that. It's not until somebody pop for albuterol and they say, well, he was eating meat in Mexico. He's a Mexican fighter. He couldn't see everything that was going into the meat. That's why he tested positive. So he tested positive for something he couldn't see. He didn't know what the origins was, right? So they made his suspension retroactive back, and he still fought Gennady Golovkin in the rematch. I didn't hear these same people up here protesting Canelo Alvarez like that. He popped dirty, period. And they had all them people. It's albuterol. It's in the meat. It was tainted meat. So Canelo can have tainted meat, but Ryan Garcia can't have tainted supplements. When both of them are equally out in the open and subjected to be contaminated by individuals we don't even know. We don't know the whole process of contamination. We just know there's some type of list of rules that's in place with certain names on there. This supplement right here. If you tell that supplement to the average viewer or listener that's following the sport of boxing, what are they gonna tell you? I don't know nothing about that shit. I don't know nothing about that shit. What is that? What's GW? 64 23 50 hike. You know what I'm saying? Don't A lot of people don't know about these supplements. A lot of people chose to try to insert themselves as being Ostarine experts once this came. Let me put in an inquiry into this search engine right here. Let me screenshot this information thumbnail. Let me read up on it a little bit. Man, hey, Ostarine, man, that's a ped, bro. No shit. That's a ped, yo. And it's on the ban list. No shit. And but let me ask you this though, since you're unemployed freaking lab coat now, a scientist. What is the purpose of Ostarine? Leading up to a fight. What does it do for dropping weight? I don't know. Dirty is dirty. It's on the ped list. Get out of here, bro. Get your ass up out of here. Shout out Toby said, "TBA salute my brother from across the pond. The 214, we must address the BS. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? We must address the bullshit." Hearns Legacy, what's good with it, brother? Salute to you. On deck in the building. He says, salute, bro. I don't get notifications of your lives. I just get lucky. Well, that's a whole nother lie there, Hearns Legacy. That's a whole nother lie, brother, because you're absolutely right. Everybody who's followed the channel understands. And I never did a live on it, and I'm not trying to get off topic. But I can show you better than I can tell you. Okay? Let me show you something right quick. Let me just take a break in the action right quick. Let me show y'all something right quick. Because people, they always say this. Hold on for a second. Let me show you something. Okay? Let me show you something. Oh, hold up. Boom. I'm going to show you something right quick, man. Let me show you something right quick. We're going to get back to Ryan Garcia. Let me keep reading these comments. Salute mods and chats. Yes, sir. Ryan said he sacked his lawyer the other day. Wonder if that had anything to do with Scooter. And yeah, he said he fired that guy. And okay, and look, I can go many different routes. It's just like Deontay Wilder situation when he was firing people in his camp supposedly. These fighters have people in rotation with how they moving and their fight camps and everything. And yeah, they're hoping these individuals keep them, honest in a good way. Making sure everything is functional. The mechanics are there. Y'all moving as a unit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not riding down here with a missing cylinder. The cylinder is misfiring. You know what I'm saying? The spark plug is bad. You know what I'm saying? You smoking the place up. They hoping everybody's moving as a cohesive unit. So when they find out otherwise, yes, your attorney might get fired because Toby, he might have made the phone calls. You know what I'm saying? And I swear this is the most loyal platform to chat in the YTBC. No doubt. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Tyrese is on deck. Ryan forgot to dot all his J's and cross all his X's. I feel you on that. And I feel you on that. LTBA say I don't believe Ryan. Hey, all I'm saying is I look at it in a sense where he's firing people now, okay? I'm just listening at what he's been consistent with the entire time. He's not going up here being overly angry at the point of him initially saying it was a con job. He ain't took no subs. He said that the weekend after. He said it in the most calmest, carefree demeanor ever. He said, it's a con job. I don't have to take no supplements and all that to be him and all that. I'm good. I don't have to do all that. I mean, he said it in the most, and then he stood by that the whole time. The fight was April 20th. Now we're in the first, semester of July, right? So guess what? During the whole entire time, to me, he hasn't switched up. He hasn't switched up. But my whole point, IO, is, why would he have to take a supplement? Why? Why would he have to take a supplement for Devin Haney? Was it just to lose weight? Because if it's going to be out there saying he need to take it to lose weight, then why was it so important for Team Haney to say, well, he didn't make weight, and Ryan say, I tried to make weight, but I couldn't drop the last pounds to make the limit of 140. They had the options to get up out of there and say, no, we ain't doing it. But they chose to stay in and take the toll to cross the bridge so Ryan can cross the bridge. He crosses the bridge and he tests positive. This is a fighter that was less dangerous than Tank. What would be his entire reasoning to jeopardize a moment like this? Well, obviously he came in there, and Paulie Malignaggi said himself, Ostarine doesn't fight for you. That's what Paulie said. Ostarine doesn't fight for you. Now back to what I was saying about, the notifications and stuff. It's funny you mentioned that, right? Because and anybody look at I've been at 10,000 subs forever and a day, right? And this is not, this is the way the number look, and they say plus 22 in the last, but they don't register number. They don't register number. They'll give you 18. Look, this was before 18, and this was after. Still, it's the same. Okay? Then this is another one, right? Even before that, you got 17, right? So do the math. 896 subtract 901. Is that 17? So I'm just putting it out there, man. I'm banned. Because the amount of subs that I've gotten, I should be well higher than that. I don't care. I don't sit up here and put too much emphasis on that. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not registering my numbers, and it's all about how the notifications go out. That's what trips me out. That's a whole nother day. But back to the game, though. Back to the game. There's going to be people and you're talking about somebody who definitely had Ryan Garcia in the hot seat, man, for capping.
Tank, I'm going to say it in front of Mike and Jeremy. If you do not take this fight, your legacy is forever tainted. Nobody will ever remember your name. Nobody.
Look how the parallels work. Ryan Garcia told Tank, if you don't take this fight, your legacy will forever be tainted. And then his legacy in this moment end up being contaminated just a little bit. Not forever. You know what I'm saying? Not forever. It's contaminated just a little bit because of a supplement. You know what I'm saying? So, call it what you want or whatever. But I still think there was some oversights in Team Ryan. You have to depend on those individuals securing the perimeter at all times. And it's quite difficult when boxing is not a corporate job. You're not going to work every day. In between fights, these fighters have their own schedule. Ryan's been out on yachts. He's been doing other things. He was in Riyadh. He was all over the world doing his thing, after this fight happened. So it's not like they're on a 9 to 5. In this particular case with Ryan, he's not on a 9 to 5. And he has a boss to report to and all that. The sport of boxing is wide freaking open, and you have members on your team who you're hoping secure the perimeter so there'll be no breach. But this was a breach. This was an absolutely breach, and he's paying for it with a 12-month suspension, which don't make any sense when you see, you know what I'm saying? You see another fighter who's tested positive for the second time in a different commission, regional commission, and he gets 9 months. He gets 9 months. 9 freaking months. Ryan gets 12 months based off the way he was acting. They kind of threw in a freaking amendment and an inclusion. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we want to put this inclusion in there too. The reason why we gave him another 6 months on what we was going to give him in the 6 months, we gave him another 6 months to make it a total of 12 because we felt that he was basically being too braggadocious and he let his machismo get the best of him with his arrogance and everything else. He came off as a narcissist. So we're going to punish him an extra 6 months for acting out of pocket and being unprofessional. You know what I'm saying? Basically, not taking the mental health community serious. He pissed some people off. You know what I'm saying? And then you had the executive of the New York State Athletic Commission, right? She steps down. I mean, why? She said she wanted to help her parents. All of a sudden, why? I mean, look, Ryan getting 12 months is just absurd. You know what I'm saying? People who really follow the sport of boxing can do the homework. They can do the homework, bro. They just don't want to. Other boxers out there, a boxer, Javier, he freaking tests positive for the second time. He get 9 months. Ryan gets 12 months because people don't like his how he behaved. He was too arrogant. He thought he was untouchable. So they wanted to always remind him that, hey, when you think you're in control, there's a portion of it that you're not. And we're going to show you the influence that we have by inserting ourselves into that little gray area that you thought you had control of. We're going to give you an extra 6 months on that, make it a year. A little bit harsh for Ostarine, a supplement that we don't even know what it is and what it does and what advantages that it has. We don't fucking know. All we know is Ryan Garcia tested positive for it. I don't have any sympathy for a man that just made more in one fight than we collectively would make in a lifetime. I understand the reason we discuss these matters, but he has to own this. Okay, so you're talking about something that, first of all, when you talk about, I understand the reason we discuss it. That's it when it comes here. When you at my front door, as long as you understand, I understand the reason we discuss these matters, then we good. So when you talk about the back end, he has to own this. Yeah. That's something I have no control of. But I do have control over why I'm speaking on the topic. Him owning this, he's a grown man. And one thing I totally agree with you on is not having sympathy for a person that is a millionaire and say he's 25 years old, 100 million. It's just too much for me to burden. Oh my God, man, it's just too much. The weight of it all anchors me down, keeps me in a bubble of depression. It's just, you know what I'm saying? This man is 25 and a millionaire. And it seems like all these people who are somewhat living a material dream that we would like, they're unhappy. They're extremely unhappy people. And Ron is no different. 1 minute he wants to be a Christian. It's a lot of people he pissed off. Talking about the Bohemian Grove and all that. He pissed them off. People have to understand there's a lot of people that wanted to come for Ryan's head, man. He let them in, bro. If you know the devil's knocking at your door, man, You might want to look out the window. Don't go there and turn that knob and say hello. How may I help you? That's all it takes. And it's just look peek and try to see what's up. I mean, Ryan, he set himself up for that. He was just up there being goofy. He wasn't really paying close attention. He was freely thinking he had everything under control. So I get where you at with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no sympathy for this man. Like I said before, I've been one of the ones who was criticizing. I call Ryan Lion Garcia for what it was. All that. I'm not defending him right now. I just have an understanding that I can speak about a topic. I can speak to an individual. I totally understand how to separate. It's just I understand the reason we discuss these matters. That's my my entire clarification. I can speak on these matters without showing favoritism to the person that's included in this matter, which happen to be Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Now, Team Haney may feel some type of way. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about who feels any type of way about anything. I don't care about any of that shit. It's not for me to get stressed out over. He said, but I do think Devin loses either that night. And however it got in the system is his own fault, because if you don't vet or trust the new guy, then just own the mistake and move forward. If you don't vet or trust the new guy, he wasn't a new guy, bro. He wasn't a new guy. You know, and my assumption is that this guy was a name, a regular, someone who was familiar amongst a surplus of fighters, that Ryan, for what he needed to happen, the time he had allotted leading up to that fight, they had to get this guy to try to get him to meet a what? A goal or a requirement. A limit. They had to get him to help Ryan meet a limit. That limit was 140 pounds. Now, if you have somebody new come onto the scene, it's no time for vetting. That's when those individuals that's around him, whether it was his attorney or his brother or anybody else, you have to make sure they're understanding of the severity of making a mistake this close to the fight. And that's exactly what happened. The conversation was had. Hey, I can't do this. Okay, we did all the salt and all that. It was getting overbearing for Ryan, and they thought, okay, what's this supplement? Ryan didn't know what the supplement was. It's impossible to know everything about a supplement just off sight, just off the eye test. It's impossible, bro. People act like you can taste it. This ain't cocaine. Yeah, that's good right there. That's pure right there, man. God damn. That's not it. You're not going to take no supplement and put it on your tongue, and it's a capsule. It's a tablet. Okay, from what my taste buds are telling me, okay, I trust and rely on my senses, okay? Yeah, that's Popeye's chicken. Let me see. Oh, hold up. Red beans and rice. Give me another tab. I ain't getting that from that. Give me. Let me see. That's not the way it works. That's not how the information is downloaded. Okay, when you come to a supplement, it's entirely too many factors that can play a role where you consume something. When people at the bar having a drink, all they know is the name and the drink that they want to consume. They don't know everything that was put in there to make that drink. I'm talking about the actual beer or the liquor. All they know is when they consume it, it makes them feel a certain way. When you receive your food at a restaurant, you don't ask them, excuse me, can you take this plate back? Because I asked for a full list of ingredients that is in this meat. I'm a professional boxer, okay? If you look, you can Google me, okay? Pull up BoxRec, undefeated, unblemished, untouched, okay? I can't sit up here at Burger King and eat any of your food without knowing where this patty came from. Tell me, goddamn bull 633 something. That's not the way it works, y'all. People are not running to restaurants. People are not getting meal preps and understanding where your food is coming from. Every time you drink out of you drink a beverage or whatever, you don't know what's in it. Why is it so difficult for people to think that Ryan did not actually, honestly, know what was in the supplement? From somebody who was in the fitness community, who is very well educated in the fitness community, um, it's a lot of supplements that people bring to the market. There's OTC that certain fighters will test positive for, but to the average athlete, the civilian, the recreational gym goer, we don't know what's in that supplement. We don't know. We got people. Check this out. We got people who was so critical of snack when Crawford beat the brakes off Spence to the point where they went up there and ordered some snack. And look, this is what they dumb ass gonna say. Oh, I can tell you from taking a snack, I feel way stronger than I did before. That's because you're taking something that you never took before. Your body is providing you the reaction that you want from the consumption. Within that supplement, it is giving you a different type of feeling because it's not used to you consuming such a product. Of course, if you keep on taking it, every time you take it, it's going to digress just a little bit because your body is getting used to it. It's saturated in your body and breaking it down. These people went and brought a snack. So in the process of them criticizing Victor Conte, they actually made him money because they went and took certain supplements. Now the crazy part about it is that if you gather collectively the amount of knuckleheads that went and bought a supplement, right, from Snack, and the reason why they did, they wanted to place themselves in a position of Terrence Crawford whooping and beating down Errol Spence. If you put them in just one gym session in a boxing, and they still out of shape, they're going to get winded. Their cardio is not where it should be. And definitely, just like I said in what Paulie Malignaggi, Snack cannot teach you skills, baby. So you can take your dumb ass up in the gym off Snack all you want and say, if Crawford beat Errol Spence, who was on the pound for pound list, give me one of your better fighters in here. Give me your better fighters. I'm on Snack. I can do it. And you go in there and goddamn get the brakes beat off your ass, defecating all in the ring and all that, vomiting. Bro, you're not going to come back on here and tell the listeners, you know what? I was up here insinuating that Crawford was cheating because he was Victor Conte, right? And we can't understand, why those supplements, why Victor Conte is allowed to have certain fighters. I was assuming that Crawford had the advantage going in there with EJ because we haven't seen anyone beat the goddamn black off his ass until Crawford did. So therefore, I had to find a reasoning as to why Crawford looked spectacular, dominant. I blame Victor Conte because I wanted a reason. These cats go order the supplement and they feel different. And then they go in a boxing gym and get beat up. Now they saying, well, Terrence Crawford taking something different than what I took. I felt invincible. God damn it, that Snack shit worked. I felt good. I met my PR on the bench. You know what I'm saying? I was benching 38 pounds before. I took my bench up to 48 pounds. That was my PR, for real. Facts W says they did flex too much on the punishment. Not sarcasm, it's just explaining, you know what I'm saying? Explaining at a different elevation there, Haynes. It's not sarcasm. Sarcasm sometimes makes no sense. That's catch 22, because if you don't love the weight and may mess up the bag, if you don't love the weight, you that catch 22, because if you don't love the weight, it may mess up the bag. On the other hand, you take some you can't detect, you get a win taken away. Well, let's talk about let's talk about who did get suspended for a first time offender. Keyshawn Davis tested positive for weed. First time offender. Weed now. He had that win overturned, right? I did not witness, nor did a lot of other people. I didn't see the protest. I didn't see them lining the damn streets. I didn't see them with their mobile phone with the flashlight on at nighttime protesting out Keyshawn's freaking living space. I didn't see the dwelling. I didn't see the gathering. I didn't see this like we was in COVID when people was out here marching, you know what I'm saying, protesting. I didn't see that for Keyshawn. He tested positive for weed, yo, something that a lot of people familiar with outside of Ostarine. A lot of people don't even know what the heck Ostarine is. But when Keyshawn tested positive, why you do weed and you're a fighter? Oh my God, you're not taking the sport serious. You suck. I don't want to talk to you. Man, see, I was supporting Keyshawn until he popped for weed. I didn't hear people acting like weed was something that we never heard. And just because of the strand, he was on that different. He was on that Texas strand, man. That Texas strand different. Victor Conte had something to do with the Texas strand. They are collaborating with that Texas strand, and they had snack in there, and that's why Keyshawn pop. Man, I told you, man. See, I didn't hear the protest. I didn't see the gathering. It was never a point in time where the message to me that people were keeping the same energy that they keeping with Ostarine. People don't know what the fuck Ostarine is, but they know what weed is. Keyshawn was suspended, and so was freaking Ryan Garcia. But people want to rally over here to the Ryan Garcia situation because what? He has more of a popular name. He hits the algorithm different. That's all. It's more people still talking about Ryan Garcia than they talk about Devin Haney. The only reason the Haneys are being mentioned is because they continue to go on and try to goddamn talk about fentanyl and comparing that to Ostarine, and then want to goddamn talk about heroin and comparing that to Ostarine. I mean, come on. Oh my God, bro. Oh my goodness. Maybe Ryan touched Devin with the hand of God. I can't go there, Toby, because, I was listening to the Spaces verbal exchange, or should you say verbal sparring, between Ishe Smith and Ryan Garcia. And I heard Ryan Garcia say some things. You know what I'm saying? I heard him say some things that's not Christian-like. And he continued to say it. And continue to say it. He's continued to say it over and over again. If y'all didn't hear it, let me let you listen to a piece of that when you talk about the Christianity part of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it just didn't make any sense how you inviting Ishe Smith to your private parts and you talking about booty hole. You know what I'm saying? This is Ryan now. This is the man of Christians. You know what I'm saying? This is the man of Christians. Real talk. This is the man of Christians. This is the man of Christians. Let me let you listen to this right quick. Okay? Let me play this right quick, okay? So y'all can understand when you mention Christian and Ryan Garcia. Because like I said before, I was very critical of Ryan capping, not holding true to his word, all that. And tune in right quick.
Even heard of you. What do you mean 20 years? Nobody even knows who the fuck you are.
You know what? Everything
Nobody
I heard of you, everything I heard about you
Nobody knows
is
who
negative.
the fuck you are. Nobody knows who the fuck you are.
Like that. No.
Suck my dick.
You
Suck
see,
my dick. Suck
you
my
see.
dick. Suck
Yeah,
my dick.
see,
Suck my
these are
dick. Suck my
see, that's what I thought.
But you
That's
just
what I
cussed
thought.
up.
Talking about. You see what I'm talking about? I did that. I did that live late yesterday because I was gonna. I shut it down. I really did. And then I ran across this, so I was like, let me do a live on it. And this is see one thing about Christianity. It's a tough area to really discuss. It's even tough just having a decent conversation with people. Because one thing I understood early in life, if if you're in a room full of people and you have certain hobbies of yours or certain things you consistently embrace in life, right? You don't share them with people that's not like minded, nor do they have any interest in knowing about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people didn't know I rode motorcycles as heavy as I did, but I did speak about combat sports with them. It's a lot of people that I rode bikes with that never even knew that I was in the combat sports the way I was. They'll hear me now speak on it, and they say, "Bro, you knew this while you was in?" I say, "Yeah." Man, you ain't never mentioned shit about that. You was busy talking about because why am I gonna speak about something with somebody and they don't have any interest about it? It's the same thing with religion. If I tell people that you should just have faith in the Most High and whoever your supreme being is, and you'll be good to go, rather than some people believing that you have to step inside a place of worship just to get validation to who you are as a Christian. You don't have to do that. Because look, my point of view is, why should I put faith and trust in a messenger? Why would God send a messenger down here to spread his message? It makes no sense. I'm talking from the podium to the preacher to the congregation. Never let somebody that's so-called believing in the same religion as yourself point the finger and tell you what you should be doing every day to prove that you're a Christian. You'll never be able to prove that you're a Christian in the eyes of a sinner that's just like you. They're only going to try to influence their perception on you based off their own beliefs. But being that I don't know how they're living and they don't know how I'm living, their only message to me is based off the little small window of familiarity. So they're guessing. You don't want to come to guessing when it comes to religion. Ryan is showing us that, hey, guess what? I'm going to mention God and then I'm going to tell you the S my D, right? That's him. I don't have to guess about Ryan when it comes to Christianity on certain areas because he keep on showing us, bro. I don't have to guess. I hear him saying certain things. I say, is that Christianity? So long story short, don't ever believe or let somebody that's basically consigning themselves as a messenger of God when you can speak to him directly. I always felt that I would never go wrong with directly having an understanding with the Most High rather than listening to someone that's a third, fourth, fifth, sixth party. I don't have to because it's always going to be some type of bias. It's always going to be that way. And you know what bias does in real life? It influences people to think differently when they should have just had the understanding and say, hey, let me worship God as I see him. You know what I'm saying? The spirit. Let me pray in the privacy of whatever, where am I at? And don't ever allow yourself to be drawn in to say, well, I have to go to church. I have to listen to I have to crack the Bible open. Because it's a lot of people that crack the Bible open. And then the same people that try to crack your confidence open and contaminate how your true belief should be when it comes to religion. Yeah, a lot of people want you to listen and they want you to look at them as a God. They want you to hear their word because they have cracked the pages and turned chapter to chapter and say, hey, this is what you should do. This is how you should think. This is the belief that you should go out here. And then I'm like, do you like Ryan Garcia? Oh man, I love him. Hmm. What about him and his Christianity, his beliefs in Christian? He believes in the Holy. So you okay? You condone. Look, his actions he have to take up with God. And see, when they say some shit like that, y'all, that's my whole thing. People selectively pick and choose on what people need to take up with God. I take what I do up with God without anyone telling me. I've been knowing that a long time. When you get people saying they got to take that up with God, no shit. So why am I going to listen to you? If they're going to pick and choose who, oh, they got to take that up with God. God forgives. I'm not going to go on and on about that, but that's my beliefs in Christianity. I respect my relationship, my direct relationship with me speaking to the Most High one-on-one. I don't need a gathering of people or finger pointers, as I call them. You know what I'm saying? Individuals that's pretty judgmental. Individuals that really don't know who you are, but they try to act like they know what you are. And their flawed assessment of what you are goes against a lot of faith that they read in the Bible. So Ryan Garcia up here showing us he's cussing people out. He's saying he's about their life. He got goons that he roll with. You know what I'm saying? He talking about booty hole. He talking about all this stuff. But he said, "Thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ." Who am I to judge him? His relationship with his Most High, he has to deal with that. I'm not trying to be a God in his life. Why would I stress my mortal self against him, trying to convince him, hey, Ryan, you know, but that's not a good look. You want the Christians. The Christians ain't saying anything because they already know, bro. When it comes to religion, it's just so many people have their own ideology. You know what I'm saying? The way they collect information, the way they assess those individuals. You know what I'm saying? Their assessment and how they gauge your Christianity is based off what they consider to be a sin. You know what I'm saying? Your actions. When you frown, when you smile, your tone of voice, what you believe in. Oh, I just want to ask you, do you like these clothes right here? This brand? Yeah, I like them. Do you know this brand and their religious beliefs? They're atheists. Why would you wear clothing and they're atheists? Huh? I didn't know. I didn't know they was atheists. You know what I'm saying? That I can't deal with that shit, dog. You just described Rolly on Snack. No skills. He can take whatever he wants. Tank sleeps him every time. You know what I'm saying, Haynes? I mean, okay, hey, where's the Rolly union? Where's the mortars? The mortars, the moder. Look, where are they at? Where are the martyrs for Rolly Romero, man? The one who was gifted the Jackson Mariñez fight, who was gifted a championship fight right after being stopped by Tank, who was just gifted like it was Christmas. Where are the Rolly advocates? Why weren't they defiant when Rolly went in there and looked as bad as he did? Why? Why didn't he get no love when he went in there and lost the way he did against Isaac Cruz? Why wasn't they having the same mentality that they had with Terrence Crawford with Rolly Romero, Haynes? You know what I'm saying? Good point made, bro. I thought he got in trouble for going to Australia and drinking their water. I still can't explain it to you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to M7. You know, M7 said he got a beating. And look, I always go back. Like when I process stuff, right? I say I'm not gauging off what I process off others' evaluation. I'm not doing it. I just feel like, okay, I will look at something and then I'll try to find other intel to measure off if I'm in the same proximity of relevance. Like, am I making sense? So I gather other intel and I say, okay, this person, and that person has to be someone that I respect enough to say, okay, I respect that they're coming from a somewhat of a neutral point. You know what I'm saying? They're not extremely biased. I've been living long enough to interpret what's what. But that's how I gauge the information. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is not gonna basically speak on things. Like, I don't look to say, well, I'm thinking this way because I went out here and did it just the opposite. I see what everybody else was thinking, and then I make my I come up with my thought process, and then I say, okay, am I in the ballpark? Boom. I listen and read other people's shit. And then, I just do my own assessment from there. That's all. But when it comes down to people believing that Haney got a beating, Paulie said Osirine doesn't what? Osirine doesn't fight for you, bro. Why did it take Paulie to do that? People get up here, oh man, fuck you, man, you hating all that. Paulie said Osirine doesn't fight for you, bro. What more do you want? He said it doesn't fight for you. Shout out to my guy Swat Jones in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Salute to you, man. I see you on deck. Salute. Tyree said, I'm a neutral non-believer. I steer clear of those talks. Why? Why steer clear of it? You learn a lot by being in a situation where people don't think the same. You never want to be in a room where people all think alike. You need to get up and go to a different room. And sometimes us learning means hearing and listening to people that are totally opposite of what our beliefs are. It's good to be in a room full of people that we're not on the same sheet of music, especially if we're not fighting for a common end game. You know what I'm saying? If we just dare just for general conversation, that's good. But if we all in the same setting and we're agreeing with one another, how are we supposed to make any type of advancement on trying to figure it out? It's not going to happen. You want to hear the good and you want to hear the bad. That's how you freaking learn. The best way, in my opinion, to move amongst any group that you're unfamiliar with or you haven't been around them long enough is to be quiet. And when it's time to speak on something, you keep it short, straight to the point. And if it makes sense, people will ask you to elaborate. That's all I can say on that. I just caught that Zab video with him talking to Ryan. I saw Ryan got into it with somebody else too. God don't like fakers either, man. God don't care what your name is. Ryan's playing with fire. Well, Jones, I mean, you're pretty much making my point. Like, nothing to do with you directly, right? Well, one thing I know from growing up in the church, I met some of the most judgmental people I ever met in my life. And that's dealing with people that was considered non-Christians outside of me not knowing what faith they truly had, right? So when I hear people say that Ryan's, playing with fire and, I totally get where you at with putting that stamp on Ryan because he feels freely that he can one minute say he believes in God, right? And then the next minute he's committing sins over the top. But he's just doing it out in the open. But me, I look at it like it's a lot of things that I may think about internally that is a sin too. Seriously. I may see a female walking down the street and she may be holding hands with a dude and she may be fine as hell. I say, God damn, shawty bad. That's a sin. You know what I'm saying? If I'm lusting over something, anything, that's a sin. If I'm wishing bad on something or a situation, that's a sin. I may not be out here on social media speaking about it for everybody to hear, but if I'm speaking it in private, I mean, if I'm thinking it in private, it's just as bad because we have to talk about spiritually the connection we have with the Most High. Ryan have his spiritual connection. I have my spiritual connection, right? With God. Ryan is out here saying some things that's just, hey, I've said some things out in the open about other people. Is God going to frown upon me the same as he would? I don't know. Because the only thing I can say is my relationship and my connection, my one-to-one with God is all I think about. I can't sit up here and chaperone what Ryan Garcia's relationship is with God because he keeps on acting like an idiot. He keep on, including God on the back end or the front end of his tirades. I don't know how to handle that shit, bro. It's not my responsibility. That's an impossible situation for me to round up those who I believe is Christians and counsel them on the way they should be. I can't do it. I truly believe I could be a preacher if I was never taught how to sin. If I didn't know what sin was, I could be a preacher, dog. But I know so many ways on how to sin, and I still engage in certain things that's not considered to be holy. I wouldn't be in the church long, man, before it's be a scandal up in there. Excuse me. We seen you at happy hour. You was on your third. You know what I'm getting at, Pastor. You was on your third margarita now. You know what I'm saying? And you was with a lady friend that you all was getting pretty frisky over there. You was a little touchy. And why would you be that if you the first lady is at home cooking your meal? Pastor White, we have all voted and we're petitioning for you to step down, resign your position as pastor of this church. We do enjoy hearing your sermons, but we're requesting respectfully, Pastor, that you resign your seat, that you step down. Man, they would be asking me to step down, dog. For real, dog, for real. Yeah. But I get where you at, Swah. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. But I don't know if you was on here earlier. It's just with me, man. I understand that I have no belief in messengers to basically direct me spiritually where I should be. That's up to me to have a connection with the Holy Spirit himself. That excludes all the middlemen. That excludes all the in-between noise. You know what I'm saying? How they say you got that, that crowd noise. You have all the influencers out here. You have those loud talkers and stuff. People who go to church every Sunday. But it takes that one moment for you to rub them the wrong way. And Christianity doesn't exist. No, fuck that, nigga. We on some real shit. No, don't bring church into it, nigga. Don't bring. That's all I'm saying. It takes one moment for Christianity to be a non-convo. Now we on some real shit, some street shit. But why can't Christianity play an important role in de-escalating the situation? Don't nobody want to hear you talk like you have some sense and understanding what Christianity is about. But when other people, that the one thing about seeing all these churches down here in Atlanta is that every so often you will hear that a preacher is stepping down. It's a preacher that visit the church I used to go to. Like, he's a well-known preacher, dog. He's been in the game. I mean, books written, all that. I've shaken this man's hand, bro. When I was growing up, He just recently had to step down because of an old sin. What kind of this dude was, I guess, forced. It's no telling. I know y'all remember Bishop Eddie Long. I can talk about him. He dead. But this is no shit. When I saw this dude in the gym with spandex on and a spandex top, I said, this dude look freaky, dog. Like, something ain't right. You a pastor of a mega church in a gym, LA Fitness? So come to find out, he had a scandal with the dudes, and they, he had a gay relationship, whatever he had with them dudes, and it ended up blowing up, man. Lawsuits, all that. He ended up dying, man. Supposedly, allegedly, from the package, But this pastor I knew forever and a day, he said he had this. This was on the news, bro. He had to step down because of old sin, bro. An old sin. Can you imagine? Look, the Holy Spirit didn't tell him he had to step down, but the influence of those that was around him, they somehow got together. So much to the fact where you're trying to high. It's nobody. But you do have individuals that are evaluating who you are from the position that you hold. This preacher held one of the highest in a congregation here when it comes to Christianity. He was a well-known preacher, big time, books, bestsellers, all this. He had to resign his position, not because God showed up and said, hey, it is time for you to step down. You know, and I know you have an old sin. Now, all of you up there, we're not going to disclose what that old. I don't want to hear it then. If it's something as bad for somebody who put that much tenure in theology as a pastor, for him to be removed from his position for old sin, why didn't God forgive him for it? Anyway, let me move on. Why wasn't he forgiven? How can an old sin get me removed from a position that I put the time and effort over and over again, going from city to city, preaching in other churches, all that? How can I be removed from my position if God had anything to do with it? Why didn't he forgive me so I can continue to speak his name? I continue to spread the Holy Spirit. Tell me that another day. Tell me that another day, bro. If Ryan fought Rolly instead of Devin, would people be making as much fuss about Ryan failing the test, or would they say, well, it's only Rolly. It doesn't matter. Good question, Toby. Intellectual assessment. Good, solid question. And that is something that we'll never know, man, because we all understand that people, how they care about Rolly Romero is less. I mean, very, very little than what they care when it comes to the Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney situation. Rolly Romero, they wouldn't sit up here, especially how he obtained the title. He was gifted a title based off of Tony Weeks' early stoppage. They wouldn't have cared. You know what I'm saying? But you got people up here faking like they heavy Haney supporters, and they want to rally the freaking war cry, and then give it 2 to 3 more hours, and no one's gonna be speaking on it. Those folks made me. I sit on the sidelines and watch the conversation. Hold on for a second, right quick, y'all. All right. Oh, those you got to listen to both sides of a story and then make up your own mind and what you think the truth is, in my opinion. Well, when you come to religion, you know certain people are going to think the way they think, right? That's just anything in life, right? So, so a lot of these kids, man, I was just having a conversation with one of my relatives, and would not get into a deep. I want them to believe that I'm stupid. You know what I'm saying? For real, because I can have a conversation, but I'm not going to have an argument. I will participate in a dialogue, but I'm not going to have an argument with you just because you're used to having that around your friends. These kids today, when Tyrese is talking about agnostic and whether belief is a God exists, you get deep into these kids who don't have any direction. They want to be atheists. They want to put themselves as being an atheist, bro. And they will argue you up and down as to why there's no God. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is going on. And Trump is allowed to do this. And he's allowed to do that. And we have this going on. And there's babies dying. And there's homeless people out there that's being put in jail. They're passing new laws to lock homeless people. I say, what? You have people who are not homeless, who have medical conditions that need help. People who just have everyday struggles that need help. Kids who didn't have a choice, who was brought into this world, who's in orphanages that need help, right? But you have a lot of these cats these days, these kids who want to ring the bell on atheists. You know what I'm saying? Being an atheist. It's rough. It's rough, Toby. You know what I'm saying? It's rough, man. Tyrese. You know what I'm saying? Don't don't never listen, Tyrese. Don't never let anybody influence or have any type of presence to say they made me agnostic. How can somebody make you? You have to have belief yourself based off everything that you have experienced in life, with all the sickness, the natural disasters, all the killings, all the adversity that we go through all the time. It's easy for a person that I don't know what your percentage of belief was prior to this comment. I don't know what your upbringing was. I don't know what religion you are. But at the end of the day, we live in a society or a simulation that we can be influenced based off message pushers, agenda pushers. We have social media now. We have people who are independently running these engines and putting out certain messages. So it's just so many areas to be influenced. Or you have individuals that's feeling that type of way off real life situations, like they went through a situation to change their life for the better or the worse, whatever the case. You have some people that say, "Oh, I believe in God. He were because of this situation." Then you have others who have experienced darkness, experienced the darker side of life, pain, suffering, and their energy is based off that. But don't never allow a messenger, because you never know the percentage of where their heart lies when it comes to religion. More so to the fact of how have they been living their lives for them to persuade you to be agnostic, to persuade you to be somewhat of an atheist. Because atheists kind of involves and level up the same way. They're basically hanging on the same string. If you don't have belief there's a God, then how can you even have a belief there's a religion? A religion to the point where, yeah, they exist, but I don't want to dedicate or commit myself to any of it. Made great points, Cap, about religion. It was gems. Yeah, I'm just, it's just conversation at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, the understanding is just crazy because I just find a lot more peace in a one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? I go up into a church that was just, look, the way I grew up, and I was, it wasn't like I was out in the streets robbing and killing people. But if you grew up in a church where you're supposed to have people who are older than you mentor you and give you advice, you know what I'm saying? The word's supposed to mean something coming from these people that's understanding what God word is better than what I would. You know what I'm saying? And also people need to understand that going to church doesn't necessarily separate you from what you experienced before you opened the doors and came into church. It was a lot of times we went to church and we got our ass beat with a belt prior to going into church. So you think I'm up there knowing my wounds are fresh and I'm listening to the word of God? No, I'm not. I'm not listening the way I'm supposed to because I'm not understanding why I had to be punished prior to going to church. But anyway, those same people that's supposed to be raising you up, because they always told me it takes a village to raise a child, right? So if I'm going through the maturity process of learning and everybody's environment is different and I'm experiencing these things and I'm doing some wrong, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing some wrong. And I went through some areas where a brother was out there, never was on no drugs, never was out there mugging people. But I used to take my parents' vehicles and go up to where they used to race cars, and I learned how to ride motorcycles. And this was before I even left elementary, bro. I knew it was some white kids that was riding dirt bikes and stuff. Their parents already had. It's just something fascinated me, when it comes to certain levels of adrenaline, right? So I used to go up there and like I said before, 11 to 12 years old, I had a growth spurt to like 6 feet, 6 feet one. I had a growth spurt over the summertime. So I used to go up there and get out. They used to think I was an adult. They used to think I was like 19, 20. And I learned how to ride motorcycles up there. So that was my thing. But somebody ended up calling and saying, "Hey, so and so's out here. We think your car was stolen." Then that's when Pops found out I was taking the car and shit like that. And then I was shoplifting here and there, for clothes and stuff like that. Nobody was injured. Nobody was injured. But Jesus Christ, when you got parents that speak to their neighbors, that's supposed to be a village to raise a child, and those same individuals are burning down that same child with the village. Something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong. So if you're in a church and it's supposed to be prayer, and these kids are being sheltered, they're being restricted, they're being punished. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't listen to that type of music. You can't listen to this. You can't go there. You can't do this. But when they finally find what freedom is a little bit, they never let it go. But my thing about the individuals that I went through that experience with is that they convinced me to have the type of understanding I have, because coming back here at my age and for some of them same people to look at me the way I was as a teenager for the small shit I was doing, to them to judge me and look at me in the same light, even though I'm retired now. I've been all over the world, served my country, broke my back, all this shit. These same Christians that knew me as a teenager will still every now and then frown in your face as if you that same teenager, bro. That's why I'm saying to myself, you can never convince me to put your total faith in a village of individuals that's supposed to be learning religion like I am. And they've been in life longer than I have. But yet their heart is still contaminated with hate. Hell no, shawty. It said I can dig it. Every man has his own beliefs. I never invade anyone when it comes with that. It's a sacred thing. That's why Ryan should not put it out there in the open. Should be personal. No doubt. No doubt, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Keep that to yourself. Ryan has between me and Swa and Toby and Tyrese and everybody else that was in. Ryan Garcia holds a higher position of notoriety. Just because he's more known than us doesn't mean he holds a higher position when it comes to the Most High, the Supreme Being, the Holy Spirit. It doesn't work like that. So he may have a higher position of notoriety when it comes to us. So what he says is going to influence or affect him more than if we was to say it on here in the chat. When he goes on here and say, "Oh, thank me, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ," and then he's telling that dude the S this and F that and all that, I'm like, bro, you got people listening to you. And another fragmented, part of Ryan Garcia's situation is that people always want to brag there. "Oh, Ryan, look at his social media. He got all the young girls. He got the younger generation." What does the younger generation think about a person that's trying to be a thug now? You know what I'm saying? I bring in thug because you want to be the part of the street life so bad. You know what I'm saying? You got these rich kids that has everything, you know what I'm saying, that we would like to enjoy, right? But they unhappy. They want to go out and get arrested. They want to commit a first degree assault on a seat cushion. They want to beat up a sofa cushion, y'all, and go down there for a month. "Well, Mr. Garcia, the reason why you're down here and we had to book you is because in this state, it's considered a felony if you damage something $400 or higher." Okay. And though it wasn't another physical being, it was a seat cushion. That sofa cushion cost somebody money. It's a lot of people that was in a sweatshop that made that seat cushion. Therefore, you got to pay. This is a serious crime, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. Get out of here, man. But I get what you're saying, Swan. I get what you're saying, bro. He said, "Pastor White, that sounds like a great church to go be a member." Nah, you won't want to be a member of my church because I tell people, hey, it's going to be a moment in time where, I may say some things that don't fall within the scriptures. It's a lot that I know about the Bible. I just don't get into it with people who want to act like their word, they was part of writing. Man wrote the Bible. I mean, they printed the Bible. You know what I'm saying? There's people that have made revisions to the Bible. There's individuals that can quote scriptures from the Bible all day long, but put them in a very strict, dangerous, dark situation where you're forcing them to draw from it. Are they going to draw from their natural instinct? That layer where they've been masking with their religious beliefs? Are they going to draw from their religious belief first? Are they going to draw from their natural thought process? And they're going to go at you with the same energy you go into them? Are they going to break out there and say, "Oh, F you, you ain't doing shit for me now"? I mean, are they going to give you that side because they feel like that's more of a deterrent to get you to stop rather than speaking the Holy Spirit? And if you turn to me to Leviticus chapter 7, verse 5, and it says, if you can turn your Bible to John 3:16, yes. For God so loved, Romans 3:23, for all have sinned, come short. Yes. I don't know why you're mad, but the Holy Spirit is speaking through me to you. That's what he's doing. He's speaking through me to you. Please let us pray, brother. Give me your hand. Give me your hand, brother. Let us pray to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? It's not the case. It's not the case, bro. Let's continue to listen to the Christian right quick.
It don't matter, Ryan.
It don't matter? Okay,
Ryan,
it only matters
you're
when
fake as a $3 bill, bro.
Wait,
You're fake as a $3 bill. You're faker than the $3 bill. Your own people, you don't even know how to hire. You don't even know how to hire your own team. You can't even trust the people on your own team. You don't even know how to do. Like, come on, bro.
Yes. You were at Chico yesterday. Yes, sir. Hey, bro, I actually got people that like know that you sound like an idiot.
Bro, I'm not the one. You could play. You got people that know
Bro,
I
I
sound
just
like an
played with you
idiot.
though.
Come on, bro.
I just played with you though.
You played with
What are you gonna
Caleb
do?
too.
What are you gonna do?
You
What are
play
you gonna
you
do?
played with
What are you
Caleb
gonna do?
too.
What are you
I
gonna
don't
do?
think Caleb.
That
You
know what's
play
funny?
with
Hey, you know what's
everybody
funny
else.
about you?
All you do is play. When are you gonna stop playing? You're a grown ass man. When are
What
you
are you
gonna
gonna
stop
do?
playing?
Hey, Ishay, how old are you, Ishay?
When are you gonna stop playing?
How old
When
are
are
you,
you gonna
Ishay?
stop playing, dog?
Hey, Ishay,
I
Ishay,
just want to know when
Ishay.
is Ryan?
When
When
you
is
got your
Ryan Garcia
butthole
gonna stop
tickled,
playing?
when you got your
When is
butthole
Ryan
tickled,
Garcia
nobody
gonna
was
stop
judging
playing?
you.
Every
He said when you got your butthole tickled, nobody was judging you. That's what I can understand about Ryan. Why is the butthole so important for you? You know, Jesus, man. Why does that always have to be the topic of discussion? Every time you're in an argument with somebody. When he was on stage, he talking about he'd do this with his put his private in somebody's mouth, man. I'm like, goodness gracious, bro.
He was judging
every
you.
time you do something, you playing. Every
Bro,
time I
when
see
you
you
got your
playing.
booty hole tickled, I know you're
Yeah,
mad.
see, playing.
I ain't playing,
Everything
bro.
you do is playing. When are
Bro,
you
but
gonna take
nobody
shit
wants to actually
serious?
run the fade,
Look
though.
in the mirror, bro.
Nobody
Take some
actually wants to run
accountability
it.
for your life. Stop using God's name in vain.
Hey, bro.
Stop using
First of
God's
all,
name in vain,
why
dog.
don't you let
Stop
nobody
using
speak?
God's name in
Why
vain.
don't you let nobody speak? Because you're a pussy and you
Stop
don't know how to
using
act like a
God's
man.
name in vain. Because
Act
I
like
don't
a
have to
man.
let you speak.
I'm
I
25 years
know the
old
type
and
of
I'm more
dude
of a
you
man
are,
than
man.
you.
You're
I'm more of a
Judas.
man than you.
No,
I've
you're
made more money
Judas.
than you. I've done more
Your
money than
name
you.
is Judas. Your name is
Hey,
Judas.
what's your name? What's your name?
Your name is Judas.
Bitch.
From now on, you're
Bitch.
Judas.
Hey, guess what, bro? You know what? You know what's funny about you? You literally said you're gonna break a man's skull and then told me, oh, why would you use that type of language? Bro, you just said you would break my skull.
Because you're talking about come to Miami, catch a fade. We can
Bro,
wear
you're
an
the
8
one
ounce
that
drug.
said,
No
you've been
haircut.
talking shit. Bro, you're a hypocrite.
I don't play like that.
You're a
The one thing, I only said about Ishay, I don't know why you're involving yourself in this. Like you've been in past beefs where you're talking to another boxer and they always gonna tell you the downside of your career, how long you was in the sport, and how you came up with very minimal accomplishments that people are gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you're talking to a guy who's 25 years old, and you're trying to speak sense into him, and then trying to convince him that you're not the person that he want to mess with down in Miami because he keeps playing and all that. Bro, you kind of wasting a lot of time on something that's pointless. And sometimes we do that though. I have, but I'm just saying in this situation right here.
and
The
you're
streets ain't
racist.
fair. Remember
You're
that. The streets
racist.
ain't fair,
You're
bro. The streets
racist.
ain't fair.
You're
How am I
racist.
racist?
You're racist
How am I
against
racist? Tell
Mexicans.
me that. How am I racist?
You're racist.
How am I racist?
You're racist.
So
You
you
know you're
say shit.
racist.
You say shit.
You're
And just to get a
racist.
reaction
You're
out of people.
racist. You're racist. You're racist. You're
I'm
racist.
racist.
You're racist. You're racist. And
It
everybody
makes you
knows you are.
dog. You're
You're
such a
racist.
kid.
You're
It's so
racist. You're
funny how
racist.
you have
You're racist. You're
how you have
racist.
a
You're
flock
racist.
of
You're
followers.
racist. You're racist. You're racist.
You see how long Ryan say you racist? Do you see the entitlement? This is how he argues with females. You can tell. Like he goes through this with females. For real. He goes he's not going through it with his kids because they're not old enough. Ryan's going through this with females, grown adults. Sometimes the behavior of a man who is around a lot of females all the time, they pick up female tendencies. Not so much acting like a female, but pretty much reciprocating certain arguments they have been in with a female that they might have did him the same way, repeat stuff over and over and over and over and over again. And he up here saying, the same thing over and over again to get a reaction out of Ishay. Because that's the child in Ryan, bro. Ishay is much older than this dude, so he should have just let it ride.
Bro,
You're racist. You're racist.
I feel
You're
like I'm
racist.
talking to
You're
my
racist.
a
You're
5-year-old
racist. You're
son.
racist.
Oh
You're
my
racist.
God.
You're racist. You're racist.
Now look how Ryan's going to change up his tempo. Because after you go and put all that energy, you have an adrenaline dump where it goes to even a higher level before you have the downflow, before you just have that downflow of the energy dump. You hit a peak before you drop off. Watch how it happens.
Bro, this is the most racist dude individual I've ever met in my life. He's the biggest hypocrite I've ever heard. First of all, he literally was like, "Oh my gosh, why would you say that?" And then he was like, "I'm gonna break your skull, bro. You're a weirdo.
I
You're a
feel
certified
like
weirdo."
I'm talking to a 5-year-old fucking kid.
Right? And come
You're
find out when I
racist.
hit
You're
you with this
racist.
left
You're
hook.
racist.
You're a
Oh,
journeyman.
bro, I feel like I'm talking to a little kid.
This dude is a journeyman, bro.
Do they got slot machines at the church you go to in Vegas?
Oh my
Just
God,
curious.
bro. I
You
feel
run out
like
those
I'm talking to a
777s,
kid.
slot machines in Vegas, the church you go to. Back to you.
Bro, I'm racist, but my fiance is Mexican. I got Mexican
That don't
kids.
matter.
I got Mexican and black kids, bro.
You know what you sound like?
Bro, you're
Oh,
so
but I got
fucking
Mexican
funny,
friends,
bro.
You're racist.
Bro, go to my Instagram and you'll see my whole family. That's what you call racist, bro. A
That's
blended
great,
family.
Bro,
You're You know what? You're fucking pathetic. You have
you know
a
what
bunch
you
of
are? You're a
false
bitch. Come find me
followers,
then,
bro.
bitch. Come test it out. Come test it out. I'm not gonna fuck around with you either, motherfucker.
Bro,
I really will fuck you up. Shut the fuck up.
See what I'm talking about? Trying to convince, Ishay Smith that his threats should be taken serious. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna take it all the way. He's gonna spike up and have the adrenaline dump and come back down.
False
Bitch, come find me
followers,
then,
bro.
bitch. Come test it out. Come test it out. I'm not gonna fuck around with you either, motherfucker.
Bro,
I really will fuck you up. Shut the fuck up.
And see, that's why you don't give people, the TOD, man, the time of day in these conversations where it's just back and forth negative energy. It's a clash. Because once they feel some type of relief and Ryan, spiking up the way he did, what did Ishay do? He laughed. Because that's what he wanted him to do. That pretty much allowed him to think he had some type of control, and he's gotten to him. The whole time he didn't think he was getting to Ryan. But now Ryan has this adrenaline, he spikes up and comes back down. Now Ishay is laughing because he feels like, yeah, I finally was able to penetrate that exterior. You know what I'm saying? Ryan's exterior that he's putting on. You know what I'm saying? I was finally able to get through to that. Why? Because Ryan is up here, getting mad and taking it to a whole nother level.
Hey, he's laughing, but I really will fuck him up, though. He's a journeyman. You can laugh, but you a journeyman. You didn't do shit in boxing. You're like a bum, bro. Even your wife thinks you're a bum, bitch. Your wife was like, "Oh, I like Ryan. I want to fuck Ryan." I was like, "What? That's crazy." Yeah, bitch. Now what? Now do something. I'll just disrespect you.
See, that's the kid in Ryan. That's a spoiled little brat for him to be talking about somebody's wife. But hey, the Ishay chose to put himself in a position. That other dude eating is nothing. I don't know why he's even there. I mean, he's absolutely has no place. He's not contributing to the conversation. He's just the antagonist. He's not doing anything beneficial to this conversation.
Bitch, don't come at me trying to break my skull. I'll fuck your wife.
Bro,
bitch.
you don't shut the fuck up. You so fake,
I will
bro.
dog her, bro.
You so fake.
Behind the
You
back.
so fake, bro. And stop cutting my fuck.
I'm gonna cut the shit off because it's my shit, dumbass motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, bitch. Because
If you really want to find out, come fuck around. I just talked about your wife. Do it. Talking about you gonna break my skull, bro. I will fuck you up.
Bro, you keep coming to my city. It's not hard to touch you, man. You better cut it out, man.
And this is where the stupidity comes in. Ishay has a wife, obviously, because Ron made him aware of that. But now he's speaking to the public. Speaking to the public, saying that if you come to my city, I'll do this, that, and the other. Don't let them know anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Quiet as kept. Don't put it out for the public to be used against you in the court of law. These people that's on YTC, if you witness, or we witness a lot, these certain individuals that basically put information out there to draw you in, they're police, man. Remember that. They will snitch at any given moment, and all they want is some type of relief if they're able to basically interrupt your your life, especially on this YTC where you got people that believe that they're gonna make a fortune off a piece of real estate, a social media real estate that they don't control, and at any given time they can be removed. But they sit on here and they say, okay, if I can take advantage or I can displace someone that I don't like from here, I feel happy. No, you don't. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what Isha got going on, letting Ron disrespect him, he's choosing to stay on here. I don't have no empathy for either one of these guys at all, man. It's none. He's choosing to stay on the panel, bro.
No. And come find.
Keep coming to my city, bro.
Bro, you don't talk.
That's not very. That's not very Christian sounding of you, Mr. Ishi.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking about him saying he fucked Caleb's wife, and then in the same breath he said,
well, he's a young man. He's a young man, but you can't be judging him.
For the kids.
This dude, Eden, you need to shut the hell up. Because what you're saying to my somebody's a young man. Imagine if I use your way of thinking with all these black youth that's getting locked up. And I go up there and say to the judge, they're a young man, though. That's why they was freaking carjacking. That's why they shot into the car and killed a little kid. They're a young man. You can't go judging them. Man, you stupid. Whoever this guy is, you the dumbest, man.
You can't be judging him and then saying that.
The kids, I'm doing this.
He's young.
That, bro.
He's a young man.
$3 bill.
You're talking to a young man.
Hey, you know what's hilarious, bro?
He's a man. He's not a young man. He's a man.
Look. I'm going to show you how dumb you are, Eden. And you are the dumbest. You're talking about this dude as a young man to basically overlook his actions. A 25-year-old man with 3 kids. And you up here being an absolute lap rider. Inverted lap rider. Up here saying he's a young man so he can do and say. You're messing with people's wives, bro. You up here invading people's privacy, their personal space, talking about somebody's wife. And this dumbass Eden up here, he's a young man. You can't judge him, man. You are the dumbest. You are the wrong person to even have. See, if Ryan, if you got people like Eden around you in your circle, no wonder you're dumbass positive for Ostarine.
Man, stop cutting my mic off, dog. Why you keep cutting me off?
Because you don't know how to have a real conversation.
Yeah, stop cutting my mic off.
You just keep talking, bro. How about you let me speak and I'll let you speak, bitch? Because you're a bitch.
Nobody takes you serious, bro.
Nobody, bro. What?
I just want to know, when are you gonna stop playing and take accountability for the shit you do?
I don't do shit,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying? When are you gonna take accountability for the shit you do?
Like what?
It's everybody's fault for you popping dirty. Everybody's fault but yours. It don't matter who gave you the steroid. You pop dirty. Own up to it. In the same breath, you go talk about. Wait.
So
I'm gonna let you speak.
Sets you up, bitch. If somebody sets you up, what would you do?
Somebody, come on, bro. Nobody set you up like that. Stop.
Yeah, it matters how he got it. It matters how it got in his system. You can't say it doesn't matter.
You can't say it don't matter.
Anybody believe?
That's the only thing that I agree with that he mentioned. You can't say it don't matter. That's for anybody who's listening. You can't say it don't matter. It does matter. Because when it comes to supplements, nobody has an entire list or chain of custody of how that supplemented was binded, created from day one, from the first ingredient to the last ingredient to the finished product, and released to the public for production, for sale. No one. So it does matter how I got in your system.
Believes that you were set up at the rate you're saying you were set up. First it was the other guy from Bada. It was Conte and
what do you mean?
All of them.
What do you mean? Conte's
you
connected
always
to all
point
of them,
the finger, bro. Now it's Scooter. Now it's Zab. It's Zab. And Zab has ties to Haney. Now it's them. But what happened to Conte? I thought Conte did it first. Bro, just take accountability. Say, you know what? I fucked up. My bad. I took a bad supplement. It is what it is. Stop throwing other people under the bus. Just man up. Just man up, bro, at the end of the day. It is what it is. Nobody want to hear about all your excuses.
Yeah, but you got no authority to speak on that. That's not
nobody.
You weren't there.
At the end of the day, bro.
You weren't there. You got no authority talking about that point. Back to you.
At the end of the day,
what is this dude? What are you eating? What are you, man? You sound like a dude that has 3 girls and they all blow up dolls. And you used to having one-way conversations. Back to you. And you be up there imitating as if it's, you're each one of those girls' characters. I mean, come on, man.
That's not
nobody.
You weren't there.
At the end of the day, bro.
You weren't there. You got no authority talking about that point.
He says you has no authority talking to that point. You wasn't there. Well, were you there? Because if you was there, that kind of explains why he popped in the first place. Because if your dumb ass was the one getting on the phone calling up these people like Scooter to come over there and drop the supplement off, then I can see. Because I know you didn't ask no freaking questions. Is it closed? Is it brand new? Is it sealed? Okay, let's crack it open, buddy. No.
Back to you.
At the end of the day, no one cares how it got there, bro. At the end of the day, it's in your body. So at
a lot of us care. A lot of us care. A lot of us care about the truth.
Take accountability, say I fucked up, and leave it alone. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. Do your year and come back. That's all that matters. Canelo popped dirty. He's back on top. Like, stop blaming everybody. Stop making excuses. First it was Conte, then it was Devin, then it was Vada. Who runs Vada? It's been every story with you, bro. Just accountability. Just say, you know what, I fucked up. My bad. It is what it is. I look to come back in 24 and actually use your platform to do good. You know, people that actually follow Christ don't want to hear you talking about you fucked this guy's wife. You got to pick what God you want to serve. Do you want to serve the real God or do you want to serve the God of the earth? Because I'm not that saved. I'm gonna come on here and I can drop F-bombs. I'm not saved.
Hey, check this out, people. Imagine having someone like Eden in your family. Imagine having somebody like Eden in your circle, condoning the actions, not even holding him to standard. Eden isn't the only one that's in these circles of individuals that's that has notoriety and popularity, celebrity status. He's not the only one. There's plenty of people like Eden out here. This, he's the type. You look, there's people that's in position where you have kids who's being taken advantage of and violated, and you have Eden up there saying they didn't mean it. They didn't mean it. You still have a long life. You'll forget about this. Don't worry about it. He gives me off those vibes, man. He keeps saying he's young. He's young. Are you a family member? At first, I thought it was his brother, but it's not. But this dude is the one that'll try to talk a kid that's been taken advantage of or violated by a family member and say, oh, he's just going through some things. You're young. You got your whole life ahead of you. Don't let this ruin it by going to the police. Let it go. Pray to God about it. We're always going to protect you. If it happened again, let us know. Man, this dude sound crazy. It's about, he's young. He's young. He got 3 kids, bro. He's a millionaire. He was intelligent enough to be in a sport where you have to remediate certain aerobic technique. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a thinker in there. He was able to do that since he was 7 years old. And now he's 25 with 3 kids. And this idiot is up here talking about how young he is to basically what? Alleviate him for any accountability?
Like that. But you, on the other hand, you got this platform and you're using it to proclaim your love for Christ. How you love Christ. I'm doing Christ's work. I'm for the kids. And in the same breath, you go tell a man, I fucked your wife. Yesterday, you was telling me I fucked your moms. Like, what?
You know it ain't easy. Hey, Mr. Ishii, he's got time to figure it out.
Did you hear, Eden? This is the worst human being that you can ever have in close proximity of yourself and family. because this guy will be the first one to throw you under the bus when it comes down to really defending your honor. This guy cannot be sober. If Ryan has this guy in his circle, he probably the one who called Scooter up and got there and then checked the Ostarine. For real. Ryan, don't let me find out that Eden was the one who made that phone call. And he was the one who brought you the open container. And you asked why it was open. And Scooter said, oh, I just didn't want to throw it away, but I've used it with other athletes before. That's why it's open. You want to take it or not? We don't have much time. Go ahead and give it to me. That is freaking going on the YTC. Obviously, Ryan Garcia. That's all I got on that. I just wanted to kind of briefly go through that process because that just goes to show you like these people are in high places, but really they're the lower points of their life, man. You know, we might look at them in a higher place than us because of their status, their financial status or whatever. But really they're beneath us when it comes to their sanity. Ben Israel on deck. What's good? Ron shit was a lot, peeps. All this might come back and full. He better be able to defend that. Yeah. Shout out to Ben on deck, man. Dope content. Be sure to smash the like and subscribe. WCSB Cooking. I appreciate you, Swat Jones, for always pulling up, supporting the channel, brother. Real talk. Most High. Ryan had better hope and pray he doesn't run short of cash and can keep paying them security guards. Ryan is gonna find himself in a whole heap of trouble. The one process, the one point I would make, right, in this whole entire process, Toby, is that Ryan Garcia has other branches to provide him monetary support. He just has to be able to organize them appropriately, like Hollywood, boxing, sponsorships. He has to be able to continue to basically organize them and allow them branches to continue to bear fruit. If those branches continue to multiply and bear fruit, he's not going to have a problem with not making money. His revenue is always going to be plentiful. You know what I'm saying? Because of the branches that he continued to pick fruit from. And he's at a point right now where it's working out for him. You know what I'm saying? It's working out for him. The one thing I would say about Hollywood, Ryan Garcia hasn't did anything too detrimental. A lot of them cats in Hollywood don't watch boxing unless Creed 5 is coming out. You know what I'm saying? So they don't care about him having a positive test of Ostarine. It's Hollywood execs and people that does coke recreationally all the time, and they're really codependent on that all the time. Okay, so that happens all the time. Then you have the sponsors. So in comparisons, right? You take Kanye, and you see what Kanye did. Kanye, he pretty much shredded this transparent lifeline that the Jews was at the end of, those provide him funding. And we all know how deep when it comes to Kanye, right? So he shredded that, severed that line by criticizing the Jews, certain individuals that really had those positions of authority at the higher of the chain of command. So they severed that line, cut him off. That's something extremely, extremely serious, because he insulted them as people. Ryan doing a little small stuff and doing all this. I mean, Mike Tyson did worse, bro. Mike Tyson did worse. He went to prison. He did way worse than Ryan. He did way worse. You know, Mike Tyson admitted to, coming in the fights doing coke and all that. Way worse than Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Eden, just like Chastity said yesterday, he's the ultimate enabler. Eden has nothing. Either he's a spoiled rich person that doesn't care about what other people think, or he's a person that's codependent on riding that Ryan Garcia wave, and he's a yes man 10 times, 30 times over. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to sit up here and condone Ryan Garcia's actions by all means necessary. You feel me? All means necessary. A big shout out to the Otters Chat and the MF and Game, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up as always. If you choose to donate, it's welcome. If you choose to drop something in the Cash App, that's the Cash App right there. Until next time, man, y'all hold it down. Peace. I'm out.